Hello, welcome to K-Strology. My name is Yvonne. I'm a professional astrologer, and today we will be taking a look at Han from Stray Kids' birth chart. As you know, I'm going through the charts of all Stray Kids members. My standpoint for these readings is the Hellenistic approach, which means I only use the 7 planets, 2 luminaries, and the other planets. So we will be taking a look at Uranus, Pluto, or Neptune in this reading. Again, we don't have the birth time of these guys, so that's sad. So we won't be working with that. But however, we still have some things to work with and some room to wiggle. So let's get started. This is very exciting. Han is one of my favorite members, and I can't wait to share this chart with you because it's magical. What we will see, and one thing that I want to do before we begin, is that Han, Felix, and Seungmin, all of them are Virgo suns. They were born in the same year, just a few days of difference. Han and Felix, just a day of difference. But still, very magical, very interesting. And so their moon signs will change, but the rest of the placements will be kind of the same. And I think this is very important for you to consider. But also, I think it's a good thing to study in astrology because this really helps us understand that every individual is different, that rising signs matter, and moon signs also determine, not all Virgos are the same. Not all Virgos behave the same way. So that applies to all the people around you. You may know a lot of Aries people, you may know a lot of Cancer people, but not all of them are the same. So let's get started with Han's chart. Han Jisung. He was born September 14, 2000 in Incheon, South Korea. We don't have a birth time, so we're using just noon for general purposes. And what does this tell us? First, Virgo Sun, and that's the only thing in Virgo that he has. Libra, Mercury, and Venus in Libra as well. His moon is in Pisces. However, if he is born in the afternoon, and let's see how far. Where is it? Maybe if he is born around after 9 p.m., he can be an Aries sun. But I'm very inclined to believe that he is more of a Pisces moon, and we will see that. He also has Jupiter and Saturn in Gemini, and Mars is in Leo. So very nice mix. Earth sign, like Virgo, earth sign, some water with that Pisces moon, and a lot of air because he has Libra placements and Gemini placements, and this Mars in Leo over here. Now, let's go by parts. Let's start from the beginning. The Sun in Virgo. Sun in Virgo people are very driven by their mind. But it doesn't mean that all of them are intellectual. They just mind plays a huge, a very important role in what they do and in their lives. And the fact that he is very curious and loves to watch all these documentaries and all these things about science. It's a very Virgo thing of him. They also love to have some structure, their own structure. It doesn't mean that all Virgo people are very organized and they like to compartmentalize all their stuff. No, a few of them do, but they can also be disorganized and messy and jittery and anxious because they're very mercurial like that. They're ruled by Mercury, so Mercury changes, and they're easy to change their mind if you give them a very good argument or a very good reason for them to change their mind. They will. Since they are an earth sign, they're very reliable and you can really tell that they want to embody and like live in the earth, like they want to be part of the world they live in, even when sometimes they feel like isolating themselves or withdrawing from the world. They're very much in touch with the world even still, and that's why the Hermit is the tarot card of this sign. So just food for thought for you in that regard. And they appreciate solitude too. They can be social, and they are, but they're very much the Hermit. So another thing to think about. Now, it's funny that he was born, if he's born before, again, as we said, like before 9 p.m., he's a Pisces moon, which makes him a full moon baby, just as some other of the members of Stray Kids. And that Pisces moon makes him very sensitive, very much in touch with fantasy. So I think it's a really nice balance between being in the earth, being present right now, sometimes feeling things too much in your body, and also being in your mind, just daydreaming and imagining things and envisioning things that are happening. So that's very special of him for Han, and I think it gives him the sensibility, and that's one of the placements that makes him such a great songwriter, because he knows how to put feeling into writing or convey his feelings so people understand where he's coming from, or putting just a name to those emotions that some other people find hard to name. That sensitivity also comes from those two other placements in Libra, which is very Venusian, because Mercury and Venus in Libra make him sensitive to aesthetics. I think he's impeccable and very curious sense of style, like edgy, but fashion is very very Libra like he follows a nice trend, and sometimes he may get obsessed with one thing and he until he gets it, or an item. He can be that kind of person, but when it comes to communication, he also tries to be very diplomatic. He can be hurtful with his words, and he knows how to use words as a weapon. Don't get like Libra placements wrong, but they know how to use words, whether to build and connect, or to destroy and to just bring you down. So I think that's the quality of a good rapper, and I think that's why he's such a great rapper. And mixed with that Mars in Leo, it just makes him bombastic and flashy and in your face. And again, to that fashion department, that sense of fashion, also makes him edgy. So I think that's why he likes this kind of grungy attitude and these hoodies, and that's why he dresses the way he does. And sometimes he really wants to be flashy, because Libra likes to get the attention or just follow the trend and say, hey, I think I look good like this. So also when it comes to music, I think he's also a great producer, because he knows how to make things work and make like the sounds come together in a really nice way, so they don't clash, or they make sense and they're pleasing to the ears. But again, music has to make you, and is supposed to make you feel something, and I think that Pisces moon is very powerful at that, and it just like empowers it. Now on his personal level, like moons like that, like full moon babies and people like us, because I'm also a full moon person, there's a pull between what you want to explore and what you feel. And sometimes you feel like retreating and you want to be away and you want to be like in your own world, but the world is expecting you to be there, out there. There are expectations, expectations from people, and sometimes they're very hard. So reconciling those two sides, what I feel like doing, what versus what I have to do, it's something that along your life, you will have to fight a lot when you're a full moon baby, because it's a balance that you have to get. And since we don't know in which house this little balance is going between, it's really hard to pinpoint it, but it's out there. Now, a really nice aspect that I see in his chart is that Venus is making a trine to this Saturn over here, to this Jupiter, over here. And I think Venus and Jupiter, since they are the benefic planets in a chart, they really give you gifts and opportunities. And I think that intellectual drive is one of the things that really pushes Han to be such a great lyricist and rapper. Why? I think that's one of the reasons why he's so fast at rapping, because Gemini requires that speed of thought and just like that spark. And like Mercury rules Gemini, so they're very much in touch with and in a very nice trine together here. So I think that's why it works so well in his mind. Like, he wants to say something, turn it into music, but he needs to do it in a very nice way, and in an impactful way, in a way that just reaches out more people and not just a few or a small group. And I think that's how he is made to be like an artist, and a very big one, and not just like a little guy that's doing like little gigs here and there. And this is the quality of a good like K-pop idol and like a public figure, so to speak. Now that Saturn in Gemini at 0 degrees, it had just changed signs and it's retrograde. I think that Saturn in Gemini gives you a quality of probably being too, like, when you get to set in an idea or a way of doing things, it's really hard to get you out of it. So changing his mind is something that he's not very good at. And when it comes to maturity, because Saturn rules like all those very big moments in which we growth, the things that take time and patience. He's not very patient because Saturn in air signs just wants to go faster than the Earth is willing or capable of doing. And that's frustrating. So he gets frustrated easily when things don't go out the way that he expects, or when things don't happen as fast as he wants them to. But he also has this ease of making things look like a breeze, even when they are difficult and when you have to put a lot of work and discipline into building those skills and those talents. And I think a very good example of that is when he and Hyunjin had this discussion of like how was it? Like, improve your rapping, improve your dancing, was it? I don't have the right words, but it was something like that. So it speaks to that. Like, he was just telling Hyunjin like, oh, you need to work on your rapping skills, because it was natural to him. But Hyunjin told him like, hey, you have to work in your dancing. You're not such a great dancer either. So we all need to grow somewhere. And I think it was very stingy and it really hurt him. But but at the same time, I think it's funny that they had that argument, because it's very, very Saturnian in Gemini from him to say that. And when it comes to Venus and Mercury in his chart, another thing that I wanted to add is that he likes to travel and he likes to see new things, and that's part of why probably he chose the career he chose, because novelty and new things to see, it's very Libran, and that Mars in Leo just gives him the spark to follow through and push through things. I think that's why when it comes to dancing, now that we were talking about his dancing, he's really good and precise at it. He probably has, and he can exaggerate a little bit of his movements. When it comes to the gym, he can be really good at it, but his endurance is not that good because fire signs, like, there are different types of fire. The fire from Aries is a spark. It's very short-lived, but it can cause a spark can cause a wildfire. In Leo's case, it's more like a bonfire, and if you leave a bonfire alone without supervision, it can also turn into a wildfire, but it's more steady and you need to follow like a process to turn it on. Meanwhile, like a spark can come from anything, like friction or just and the fire from Sagittarius is more like electric fire, like caused by the impact of like thunder, and that's coming from a storm. So I think the fire and the fact that Mars in Leo is here also speaks to that that quality of probably when he's angry, and the management of anger is not so good. And I'm not saying that all the people that have displacement are not good at managing their emotions, but some emotions can really get out of hand when they are too extreme. And that's the thing with fire ruled Mars placements. So you really need to be careful to see what makes you tick. And I think there are a few things that irritate him, and he can be very naggy about it. He is also the type of person that once he knows what makes other people tick, he can really go and push those buttons and say, I know where it hurts, and if I don't like you, I will just keep on doing it. So bear that in mind. So yeah, I think it's a really nice placement. I love his moon. His moon in Pisces makes him very sensitive. I think he's very one of the members that really likes to take care of the others, but not taking care in that maternal way, but just listening and being present and being there, and more like a friend, a really good friend that's there with you, ride or die. That's the quality of a really good Moon in Pisces person. Very dreamy. He will just jump into whatever plan you suggest to them. They're very fluid, and they're just willing to go with the flow. They're very flexible, which is a really nice trait to have. And also that flexibility comes from him being like a mutable sun, because and that nature, that flexible nature also comes from that mutable moon, that again, and that flexible nature really comes from that fluidity that water moon is giving us. So yeah, that was Han Jisung for you. I don't know if you saw anything else in his chart, maybe that I'm missing, anything you want me to talk about. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. What's your favorite thing about Han? What's your favorite song from him? I can be reacting to it just to see if this chart manifests in it. Maybe it can be possible. So let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. 우연이라고 하기엔 I'm so 깊이 doesn't make